Think about it, those moments where everything hangs on knowing the exact time. Not just roughly, but precisely.
Especially when you're deep underwater, maybe dealing with something incredibly dangerous like underwater explosives.
Exactly. For those professionals, reliable timekeeping isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely critical. It's like life support.
Definitely.
So today, we're taking a deep dive into a brand new piece of kit designed for just those kinds of extremes. It's the Serica 5303 PLD.
The Plongeur Démineur.
Right, the dive chronometer.
Yeah.
And we've got a review here that we'll be digging into as our main source.
And Serica itself is, well, it's interesting. They only popped up in 2019, which isn't long ago.
Relatively new, yeah.
But they've already made quite a splash, really known for these robust, sort of retro-inspired watches.
They started with field watches, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Field watches first, then they moved pretty quickly into dive watches, GMTs, even some slightly dressier stuff.
But there's always been that focus on watches built for, actual use.
Yeah.
Durability seems key.
Absolutely. So this new PLD, this Plongeur Démineur, it feels like a logical next step for them, not some random detour.
Makes sense. So our mission today really is to unpack what makes this 5303 PLD stand out.
What's special about it compared to, say, other dive watches?
Yeah, what are the key design choices? And what's the real story behind this connection to the French Navy EOD divers? That part seems crucial.
Okay, let's start with the name then. Plongeur Démineur.
What does that actually mean?
It translates literally to clearance diver, explosive ordnance disposal.
Ah, okay.
And that name tells you a lot straight away. This isn't just marketing fluff.
It's not just a cool name they picked.
No, not at all. The review mentions it was developed with the French Navy's EOD Divers Association, a direct collaboration.
Wow, okay. So that implies the design choices were driven by actual needs.
Precisely. Think about it. The features, the toughness, it's all likely shaped by what these divers genuinely require in extreme high-pressure situations. It's function born from real-world demands.
Right. It's not just a sticker on the dial.
Yeah.
And the review also notes that whole classic French Navy aesthetic.
Yeah, you see it immediately, those blue accents and that distinctive elastic strap, kind of like parachute webbing.
It's a very specific look. It sort of signals its heritage right away. You see it, and you kind of get what it's about.
Totally. And then when you dig into the actual construction, the specs, it's clear this thing is built tough. It's not just for show.
So it's a 39-millimeter stainless steel case, satin polished finish. That sounds like a pretty wearable size.
Yeah, 39 millimeters is often seen as a sweet spot. Not too huge, not too small. It should have presence without being, unwieldy.
And the other dimensions. Thickness. Lug to lug.
It's 12.2 millimeter thick, which is reasonable for a 300-meter dive watch, 46.5 millimeter lug to lug, so it should sit well on most wrists, and a 20 millimeter lug width, which is standard.
Okay, practical dimensions. And the 300-meter water resistance that's kind of expected for a serious diver, right?
It is, yeah. It's a solid rating. But what caught my eye, and you mentioned it earlier, was the anti-magnetic stuff.
Right. That soft iron cage. Rated at 50,000 AM. That seems significant. Why is that level so important for EOD work?
Well, think about where these divers might be working. Near unexploded bombs, which might have magnetic components, or around electronic gear.
Okay.
Strong magnetic fields can completely mess up a mechanical watch movement, throw off the timing, or just stop it dead.
Ah, right. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. So this anti-magnetic shielding, it acts like a Faraday cage, basically. Protects the movement, keeps it accurate, even in those potentially hazardous magnetic environments. It's a real safeguard.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's a crucial detail. And then there's the crown.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, right? 8 millimeters screw down.
Yeah, oversized. And the review says you can get it at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Which is neat for lefties or righties.
Yeah.
But beyond just sealing the watch tight, why the big size? Is it just for grip?
Exactly that. Grip, especially with gloves. Imagine trying to unscrew or wind a tiny little crown wearing thick dive gloves in cold water.
Yeah, nightmare.
Pretty much. So the larger size, probably with some good knurling, makes it way easier to operate without taking your gloves off. Which might be unsafe or just a real hassle. It's about practical use under pressure.
Makes sense. Now that bezel, the DT Max bezel,
Yeah.
sounds specific. Polished blue ceramic insert, looks nice, but it's the scale that's interesting.
That double scale, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the really clever bit.
What does it actually do? It's not just a dive timer.
Not just a simple countdown timer, no. It's designed to give you a direct reading of your maximum working time at different depths.
Ah, okay. for no decompression dives.
Exactly. It helps divers plan safe, continuous dives where they can ascend directly without needing decompression stops. It factors in depth and time limits.
So it's like having a mini dive table or safety computer right there on your wrist.
Pretty much. An analog safety tool built right in. Very cool for professional use.
Very cool indeed. And protecting all this is a double-domed sapphire crystal, 2 millimeters thick.
Robust.
And it has an anti-reflective coating on the inside. That might seem small, but underwater.
Oh, absolutely critical. Underwater light can be tricky, lots of reflections. Glare off the crystal could make the dial impossible to read.
Which defeats the whole purpose.
Totally. So that AR coating cuts down the glare, makes sure you can actually see the time clearly, whatever the conditions. And the dome shape adds to the vintage look and the strength.
Okay, let's look at the dial itself then. The review paints a picture of something quite functional, but still with that vintage touch.
Yeah, deep black dial, simple dot markers for most hours.
And baton indices at 12, 3, 6, and 9.
Right, the cardinal points, it keeps it clean, very easy to read quickly, and of course, plenty of lume.
Spitalmanova, naturally. Green emission, the review says.
Which is pretty standard for dive watches. Green light travels well underwater, so it gives the best visibility in dark or murky conditions.
And the hands.
Crisp, white lacquered hands. Good contrast against the black dial. Again, all about instant legibility.
And then there's that seconds hand, the fat lollipop. It's definitely noticeable.
Yeah. It is quite distinctive. Big, round, luminous tip.
Is that purely aesthetics? Or is there a functional reason for making it so prominent?
It's probably a bit of both, honestly. It definitely gives the watch a unique look, kind of a Serica signature.
Right.
But functionally, that big, bright lollipop makes it super easy to see at a glance that the watch is actually running.
Is it working? Check. Crucial for a diver.
Absolutely fundamental. You need to know your timer is ticking. That bold sweep is a clear signal. No ambiguity.
Got it. And just above 6 o'clock, there's that text. Chronometer magnetic. We covered the magnetic part.
The anti-magnetic shielding, yeah.
But chronometer, that's a specific certification, isn't it? It means something precise.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Chronometer isn't just a fancy word. It means the movement inside has passed rigorous tests run by COSC.
The official Swiss Chronometer Testing Institute.
That's the one. They test movements over multiple days, different positions, different temperatures, checking for accuracy and consistency.
So it's a guarantee of high-performance timekeeping.
Exactly. It assures you the watch meets very strict standards for precision, on top of being resistant to magnetic fields. It's a mark of quality engineering.
Which brings us neither to the movement itself.
Right.
What's ticking inside this 5303 PLD?
It's powered by the M100 caliber from Soprod.
Okay, Sotrod M100, COSC certified, as we just said, beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. Standard high beat frequency.
Right. And it has a 42-hour power reserve, which is decent. The review mentions it as an alternative to the ETA 2824.
Which is a very common, well-regarded movement. So why Soprod here? Any significance?
Well, the ETA 2824 is a classic workhorse, no doubt.
Right.
Reliable, robust. The Soprod M100 offers very similar performance levels. And importantly, it can achieve that same COSC certification.
So it's a comparable quality option.
Exactly. It gives brands like Serica more choice in sourcing, maybe affects availability or cost sometimes. Using the Soprod shows they're committed to using quality certified movements that fit their needs.
Okay, now a watch like this, a tool watch, needs to stay put on your wrist, right? Especially underwater.
Definitely. Can't have it slipping off.
So the strap options are important. The 5303 PLD comes with two choices, both sounding quite military-inspired.
Yeah. There's the satin polished steel bracelet. Classic versatile option.
Always good to have a bracelet.
For sure. But then there's the Serica PLD nylon strap. That one seems to have more of a story behind it.
So.
The review highlights that it's directly inspired by the kind of straps French combat divers used to make themselves by hand back in the day.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just a standard NATO strap then?
Apparently not. It's meant to be a direct link to what those guys actually used and preferred for practical reasons. And Serica apparently re-engineered the buckle too.
Suggests they really thought about the details. Security, ease of use.
Yeah.
Things that matter when you're depending on it.
Exactly. Little details that add up in demanding situations.
Right. So for anyone listening who's thinking, okay, I'm interested, what's the availability situation?
According to the review, orders are set to open on May 20th, 2025. And it seems like it'll be directly through Serica's own website.
Exclusively online then?
Looks like it. And the price point mentioned is 1,690 euros.
Okay, 1690 euros. That definitely puts it in a certain category, not entry level, but maybe justifiable given the specs in the story.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. It's positioned as a serious, high-quality instrument. You've got the COSC movement, the anti-magnetic properties, the specific bezel, the EOD connection.
You're paying for that package of proper engineering and that direct link to professional use.
Precisely. It's competing in that tough mid-tier dive watch market, but it brings some unique features to the table.
All right, let's surface from this deep dive then. It seems pretty clear the Serica 5303 PLD, the Plongeur Démineur, is more than just another face in the crowded dive watch sea.
Definitely not. It feels like a really well-thought-out piece of equipment, technically solid, genuinely capable, and that connection to the French Navy EOD divers isn't just fluff, it feels baked in.
Yeah, what really stands out is how they've managed to blend that cool vintage aesthetic, the look and feel, with very modern, very practical, mission-focused features.
It's got the style, but crucially, it seems engineered to actually perform under pressure in those tough environments it was designed for. Form-following function, but with historical awareness.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? When you see this level of dedication to real-world use, this collaboration with actual experts.
Like the EOD divers.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, what other things we use every day, things we maybe take for granted, could they be significantly better if they were designed with that same kind of rigorous, user-focused approach, that close partnership with the pros who rely on them?
That's a really interesting thought. Applying that EOD level design focus elsewhere, definitely something to